Hi guys, it's Matt. Welcome to the video. I am a compulsive gambler in recovery and like to think of myself as your mind and movement mentor here to help you. So today's video is inspired by some thoughts that I was having recently, which was why it took me so long to quit gambling. Because there's that kind of old saying, change can happen in a moment, and that we are the masters of our destiny and our emotions, and in theory if you really want to quit something you can just change on a sixpence, done. For me it was complicated. For me it took multiple decades and a hell of a lot longer than it perhaps should have done, than certainly in hindsight I would have wanted it to, albeit I don't live in the past and regret and think in that manner. Because I tried everything. I literally tried everything. You name it. I tried counselling, hypnotherapy, gamblers support groups, both in person and online. I went to a 4-day Tony Robbins weekend seminar. Countless self-improvement books on addiction, YouTube videos, personal development, exercise, sauna, cold plunge, cryotherapy chamber, you name it. And I think the lesson learned from it all is that nothing will work, literally nothing will work for you until you are truly ready to quit. You've had enough, and I mean absolutely had it, to it reverberates in your nervous system when you say it. You don't just say it out loud, because that is a very nuanced topic, and a topic that I could probably do a 5-hour video, because there are subtleties to it, there are nuances. There is the I'm ready to quit but I don't actually believe I can. There is the I'm ready to quit but not actually going to commit to the process of what's required. There is the I'm ready to quit in the moment because I'm immensely frustrated that I've just used again or lost money again, and I'm furious in this moment, but it's fleeting, and not even days, often hours later, you could still be using again, gambling again. So that is kind of the message from today's video, which isn't entirely helpful, because are you there? Are you actually there? If you're not, then it might take some time until you are. And I'm sorry to say, it might take a fair amount more pain. I think, in life, I think you can be a smart person and you can learn from other people's mistakes, and you not have to necessarily have the lived experience and the pain of a mistake to not do that. For example, I know if I jump off a cliff, it's not going to end well for me. I don't need to necessarily do that. I can learn that without actually acting it. With addiction, I actually feel like it's different. I feel like unless you get the sensations, kind of the trauma reverberating into the fibre of every being, you maybe just won't have the courage or the endeavour or the belief, or kind of find the roadmap out of it. But saying that, I think that you can build that leverage on yourself. You can kind of sit with yourself and you can think, let's look at where my life trajectory is going if I carry on with this behaviour. There's the Dickens process that you can do, which is incredibly powerful, which is from the Christmas Carol story, which is to go forward in your life and look at where a certain behaviour is taking you. So say, for example, you've never got any money, you're always spending your money, you're always sabotaging your relationships, ruining your health through gambling, through whatever activity. What does that look like in 5 years, 10 years, maybe 15 years? What do you say to yourself? What do people say to you? What do you regret? What have you wasted? And then you actually go forward into that and then you think about really trying to get in touch and anchoring with those emotions on just the deepest level that you possibly can. It's better doing it in a controlled environment where maybe other people are doing it, or you can really kind of put your brain under a stress, and then you pull back to today and you think, well, actually that hasn't happened yet, but could or inevitably will if I keep walking the same path. So you're front loading the trauma that you're not actually going to live through, which is very powerful, because, you know, let's be honest, we don't change behavior easily. By the time you get to about mid-30s, most of our personality traits are completely locked in. We get calcified as we get older, that we just don't change based on neural pathways in the brain, habits that have just so unconsciously compounded almost without us knowing, that it really does take like a trauma to change. So it is a real courageous move to recover, and it absolutely can be done. I'm very much living proof of that, but it's not particularly easy, and it's something that you do have to be incredibly proactive with. You know, when I was doing all of the things, reading the books, watching the videos, attending the groups, even though some of that didn't necessarily work and stick for the period of time that I kind of wish it had, you know, it doesn't mean it wasn't worth it. There was a part of me that was trying to accumulate the bank of not wanting to do it. And in some ways, those activities weren't wasted. They kind of accumulated together to kind of build the strength to reach the tipping point. So I think a powerful and positive mindset to have is, if you've done things before that not worked, the fact that you are trying to do the things is like your soul and you telling you that you don't want to do it. So each time you make a vote in that direction, even if it doesn't fully last, it tells you more about what you actually want, and it kind of accumulates together to potentially be some strength down the line to when you will fully get to the point where you can quit. And, you know, I don't think for a second that I'm cured in any way, shape or form. So there is no point of arrival where you can just kick back and say that's done. It's a proactive thing that happens from day one to day 10,000 once you recover. So a lot of this is mindset, and a lot of this is kind of proactive ways to think. I am up to my neck in ADHD, and I like to think that I see the world in quite abstract ways. And I make these videos for a younger version of me, that maybe this would have kind of put a bit of a light switch on and kind of got him or her, if you're watching this, to think a little bit differently. So if you get any value from these videos, please support the channel in any which way you can. Primarily, I'd love them for you to share them with anyone who you think is struggling with these kind of topics and who you think could benefit from watching them. Leave me a comment below. Love to hear your stories and open a dialogue and see how I can help you further and see your experience of addiction and what you're looking to do to recover. And I will talk to you in the next video very soon. Thanks for watching.